Welcome to the Professional Edge radio show and podcast. My name's Todd, tax attorney, CPA, and certified financial planner. We have an exciting lineup on this show. It's the EMC Advantage. What does that actually mean? Well, as a listener here on the Professional Edge, what is the advantage of working with estate management counselors? Well, here's the nuance of what a coordinated plan should actually look like for our listeners here on the Professional Edge, and that is that you've done your estate planning. You had your New Year's resolution January 1st, 2024. We're in the final quarter of 2024, and do you have your estate plan done? Meaning, was the last time that you actually created your estate plan was when the kids were real young and you addressed the minor and guardianship of those children, and lo and behold, you have already seen them graduate from college, and one of them may already be married and a grandchild on the way. So is your estate plan up to date? A 20-year-old plan is definitely not the mechanism to plan your estate. Well, and for listeners here on the Professional Edge, unfortunately, the number comes in and it says 50% of all individuals do not have any estate plan in place. So think about that for a second. 1 out of 2. Flip a coin. Heads, you have an estate plan. Tails, you don't. So if you don't have an estate plan, well, the great state in which you live in has a law of descent and distribution, and they will design your own estate plan. So think about that for a second. Do you want the state to designate how your estate is going to be distributed? Well, most of us don't like the state getting involved in our affairs or telling us what to do with our property. So that's another wake-up call to give our office a call at 877-654-9798. That number again, 877-654-9798. To schedule that complimentary consultation to get your estate plan in place. And I can't stress that enough because there is no guarantee for tomorrow. And we, unfortunately, here in the past 3 weeks, I have made visits to hospitals, assisted living homes to get individuals' estates done. It's like, okay, I'm at this door. I probably need to get something done. Well, don't let that be you. Get your plan in place now. So again, that number 877-654-9798. That number again, 877-654-9798. And you don't have to be a gazillionaire to benefit from the planning within a properly drafted estate plan. Being a tax attorney, I've drafted over 3,000 estate plans during my 25 years in practice. And here's a key takeaway on a proper estate plan. You have a will or a trust. A will, you're going to probate. A trust, you can avoid probate. You have a financial power of attorney, and you have an advanced health care directive. Those are the key provisional documents within any estate plan, whether you have $500,000 or you have $5 million. Now, here's another key takeaway for listeners here on the Professional Edge is let's utilize the trust as a vehicle to receive assets when you pass away. And why do I say that? Well, I see husband and wife, they've been married for 30 years, and they've accumulated some, decent size estate, called a couple $1 million. And when he passes away, he's leaving everything to her. And when she passes away, she's leaving everything to him. Okay, that's pretty simple. But with longevity, I'm seeing clients getting married in their 70s to their second spouse. And lo and behold, they just redraft a will, and it's an I love you will. So all of the assets that this 30-year marriage acquired is going to go to that new spouse when the surviving spouse passes away. So think about that for a second. There is no protection of the kids of that first marriage. So what do? We utilize a trust to receive those assets for the surviving spouse. And then if the surviving spouse gets married, we know that the first spouse that passed away is going to actually leave those assets ultimately to the kids of the first marriage. Now, it's sort of complicated to understand that on the podcast or on the radio show. So just walk through this instead of leaving everything outright to the surviving spouse, and now they have unbridled control of those assets to leave them to that new spouse. We're going to take half the estate, place it in a trust, allow the surviving spouse to have access to those funds, meaning income or principal if they need it. But when that surviving spouse passes away, we know that this testamentary trust is going to go down to the kids, however we design that, being equal among the kids. And we can distribute that outright right then. So that guarantees that the kids will not be disinherited. That's the only way that we can do this and have a guarantee. Yes, I'm saying those words very profoundly because it's a legal document. It is a testamentary trust that is funded upon the first spouse's passing. So look at your estate planning documents and just say, wow, I'm leaving everything to my surviving spouse. I trust my surviving spouse absolutely 100%. That's why you've stayed married for 30 years. But think about this. Do you trust that new intruder into the meretricious relationship? Well, think about that for a second. So I don't. So why should you? So with that in mind, if you are in the need to draft your estate plan to incorporate a testamentary trust for the benefit of that surviving spouse and for the benefit of your children so they will not be disinherited, give our office a call at 877-654-9798. That number again, 877-654-9798. Here's another thing that is a key advantage with working for estate management counselors, the EMC Advantage. And you can go to our website, EMC Advantage, that is Echo Mary Charlie Advantage.com, and see exactly what the EMC Advantage is. So here's another one. Let's go ahead and when one spouse passes away, we're going to carve out $10,000 for each of the grandchildren right off the top. And we're going to place this in trust for them until they reach the age of 30. Well, we all understand the rule of compounding and compound interest. So if those grandchildren are 2 and 3 years old and we peel off $20,000, that is probably not going to impact the surviving spouse entirely. Or we can do this when the surviving spouse passes away to make sure that they have all the resources available during their lifetime. So we place $10,000 in that testamentary trust for the grandchild. Now, when they reach the age of 30, that 10 is probably going to double 3, if not 4 times. So we got 10 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 80, 80 to 160. So think about that for a second. A $10,000 gift on your surviving spouse passing could grow to $160,000 for that grandchild at a reasonable rate of return. Yes, it's going to go up and down in value. We all know that investments are not a guaranteed return on your investment, but historically they have been very well. So if that's another consideration of, hey, we're going to leapfrog our kids, a lot of us look at our kids and say, they're successful, but man, I really love those grandkids and I want to do something special for them. Now, who do you think that grandparent is going to be their favorite grandparent, especially when they reach the age of 30 and they get this big lump sum to start their family, buy a house, do constructive things like that. And that way you're passing down the principle of also investing as well. So again, that's part of that EMC Advantage. A lot of individuals don't look that far down across the horizon or the timeline, but that's where working with estate management counselors, we sit there and understand what you're trying to accomplish. And then we apply our 25 plus years of experience being a tax attorney, a CPA, and a certified financial planner on what is going to be estate planning acumen on that. Number two, income tax planning. What do we need to do and place these assets inside this testamentary trust so it's the least tax hit while these assets accumulate? And then the final one, being a registered investment advisor, then we have a fiduciary duty to act in our client's best interest. We don't have anything to sell our clients except for professional counsel and advice. So that is the EMC Advantage, putting your tax, your estate plan, and your portfolio into one comprehensive plan so the left hand knows what the right hand is actually doing. So if you want to start that conversation, no commitment, no cost, give our office a call at 877-654-9798. That number again, 877-654-9798. Or if you're shy and you don't want to pick up the telephone, you can always visit our website at emcadvantage.com. That is Echo Mary Charlie Advantage.com to see who we are. So on to the other EMC Advantage as we stay with estate planning. Think about this. Napkin estate planning or Reader's Digest version, because you think lawyers are expensive, you go ahead and add your child to your bank account, the one that they will have access to while or if something goes wrong with yourself. So think about that. You're in the hospital, you've added your son, daughter to your bank account. You keep, $50,000 plus in that account just in case something happens. Well, lo and behold, your child's relationship does not really work out, so therefore they're subject to a divorce proceeding. Well, during the discovery process, they're going to say, what bank accounts are you on title? And guess what? They have to supply this bank account that you've added them on title to part of their divorce. Yes, there can be a claim that child actually is an ownership interest within that account, and therefore that can be used adversely in the divorce proceeding. Think about that one for a second. So you thought you were doing things good in a good way to allow your child to have access to your account just in case something happened. But lo and behold, you just exposed that to the creditors of your child. Let's not do that. Let's do it a better way. And to learn that better way, give our office a call at 877-654-9798. That number again, 877-654-9798. And we can always schedule a Zoom or a Teams call. With the advent of this technology, everybody can sit at home and we can have that discussion via a Zoom call. My name's Todd, tax attorney, CPA, certified financial planner, host here on The Professional Edge. I appreciate you listening.
We've all thought about it. Everyone listening will need one. Not having one can cause untold heartache, family conflict escalating to the point of a lawsuit. One simple thing that avoids all that: an effective estate plan. As a practicing tax attorney, Todd with Estate Management Counselors has completed over 1,000 estate plans during his 15 years of professional practice. He can help you implement an effective estate plan, coordinate your financial accounts, and make sure you have named the proper beneficiaries to maximize your tax savings. Call 877-654-9798 today and let tax attorney Todd help you implement an effective estate plan. Call 877-654-9798 today. As a tax attorney, CPA for over 15 years, Todd has implemented over 1,000 individual estate plans. He has recently authored an especially helpful guide, How to Unlock the Ultimate Estate Plan. This guide has helped many individuals to understand the benefits of an estate plan and how to avoid unintended disasters. has made every attempt to write this in plain English. To receive this valuable guide, How to Unlock the Ultimate Estate Plan, call 1-877-654-9798 $9.98 and request your complimentary copy today, or by emailing your request to info@emcadvisors.net.